Europe, a continent where food is not just nourishment, but memory, art, and identity. Every country tells its story through the dishes passed down over centuries, recipes that carry the soul of villages, cities, and families. Today, we are taking you on a journey across borders to discover the top 10 most popular foods in Europe. At number 10, Spain's beloved paella. Picture a wide, shallow pan set over an open flame, rice slowly soaking up saffron, seafood, chicken, and rabbit. While friends and family gather around the table, paella is more than food. It's celebration. Originating in the fields of Valencia, it grew from humble beginnings as a meal for workers into a dish that now represents the joy and color of Spanish life. Number 9 takes us to the seaside towns of Britain, where fish and chips remain one of the most iconic meals. First served in the 19th century to feed the working class during the Industrial Revolution. It was cheap, filling, and comforting. Today, it's eaten by tourists and locals alike, wrapped in paper, enjoyed with salt, vinegar, and memories of the sea breeze. At number 8, the global star pizza from Italy. Naples gave us this gift: a blistered thin crust bread topped with the purest tomato, creamy mozzarella, and fragrant basil. Though it has spread across continents and adapted into countless styles, true Neapolitan pizza remains simple perfection, recognized by UNESCO as part of the world's cultural heritage. Number 7 is Greece's moussaka, a dish that speaks of Mediterranean abundance. Layers of eggplant, minced lamb, and creamy baked together into a golden, rich casserole. Shared at family tables and village tavernas, moussaka is the taste of Greek comfort, history, and the generosity of hospitality. At number 6, we celebrate Germany's bratwurst, grilled to smoky perfection, paired with mustard, beer, and sauerkraut. Bratwurst has become the soul of German street food and festivals. From Oktoberfest to local village fairs, sausages unite people in one of Europe's most beloved culinary traditions. Number 5 is the French croissant. Buttery layers folded and baked into golden crescents, crisp outside and airy inside. Though inspired by an Austrian pastry, France perfected the croissant and turned it into a symbol of Parisian mornings. To sit in a cafe with a croissant and coffee is to taste French elegance itself. At number 4, the sweet charm of Belgian waffles. First introduced to the world at the 1964 New York World's Fair, they became an instant hit. In Belgium, however, waffles are more than dessert. They are street food joy, crispy yet tender, topped with cream, fruit, or chocolate, capturing the playful side of European indulgence. Number 3 takes us east to Poland, where pierogi are cherished symbols of heritage. Dumplings filled with potatoes, cheese, meat, or mushrooms, boiled or fried and topped with onions and sour cream. Pierogi represent resilience. Born from peasant kitchens, it became festive staples for Christmas and Easter, loved across generations. Number 2 warms us in the Swiss Alps with fondue. When long winters made food scarce, villagers melted cheese with wine, dipping bread to create hearty communal meals. What was once survival became a culinary tradition of togetherness, now enjoyed worldwide as a symbol of Swiss coziness and alpine life. And number 1, pasta, Italy's eternal gift to the world. With over 300 shapes and countless sauces, pasta has adapted to every region, every home, and every table. Spaghetti carbonara in Rome, tagliatelle in Bologna, orecchiette in Puglia. Each bowl tells a story of family, region, and craft. Pasta is more than Europe's most popular dish. It is perhaps its greatest cultural ambassador. But the story of European food goes far beyond this list. For centuries, it has been shaped by history's greatest forces. The Silk Road that brought spices from Asia, the voyages of Columbus that introduced tomatoes, potatoes, and chocolate, the Ottoman Empire that spread coffee into Europe's. Wars, revolutions, and trade routes all left their imprint on the dinner table. Croissants are French icons but born of Austrian influence. Potatoes, once feared as poisonous, became staples from Ireland to Poland. Chocolate, Once a bitter Aztec drink was transformed in Switzerland into milk chocolate, forever changing the way the world indulges. Food in Europe is never just about eating. It is about belonging. It's the street vendor handing you a cone of hot fries in Amsterdam, the grandmother rolling pierogi dough in the family, passing around a bubbling pot of fondue in Geneva. It is history you can taste, tradition you can hold in your hands, and memory you can relive with every bite. And perhaps that is the secret. Europe's food endures because it is not just about flavor, but about connection. Connection to the land, to the past, and to one another. To eat here is to live history, to savor culture, and to celebrate life itself. But Europe's food history runs deeper than recipes alone. It is the story of civilizations, conquests, and cultural exchanges written on the dinner plate. The Roman Empire once spread olive oil, wine, and bread across its territories, setting the foundations of Mediterranean cuisine. The Vikings carried dried fish and meat on their journeys, leaving traces of their culinary traditions from Scandinavia to Britain. The Ottoman Empire brought spices, coffee, and baklava into the heart of Europe, changing tastes forever. The Age of Exploration shifted the continent's palate dramatically. When potatoes, tomatoes, maize, and cocoa arrived from the New World, they were first met with suspicion. Potatoes were once fed only to livestock, tomatoes thought to be poisonous. Yet, within centuries, these ingredients reshaped Europe. Imagine Italy without tomatoes, Ireland without potatoes, or Switzerland without chocolate. The Middle Ages also introduced banquets as symbols of wealth and power. Kings and nobles displayed their riches through extravagant feasts, with roasted game, spiced wine, and candied fruits imported from distant lands. Meanwhile, peasant kitchens relied on porridge, bread, and root vegetables, shaping the hearty traditions that still define many regional dishes today. Monasteries played a quiet but powerful role, preserving recipes, brewing beer, and perfecting cheesemaking techniques that survive to this day in places like Belgium, France, and Germany. The very idea of wine regions, Burgundy, Bordeaux, Rioja, owes much to monks who tended vineyards with discipline and devotion. By the 19th and 20th centuries, industrialization and migration spread these foods far beyond Europe's borders. Italian immigrants carried pasta and pizza to America. German brewers transformed beer culture in cities like Milwaukee. French chefs influenced dining rooms from London to St. Petersburg. Europe's foods became the world's foods, and still every dish carries echoes of its origins, a thread connecting the present to the past. To eat paella is to taste the farmers of Valencia. To savor fondue is to relive winters in the Swiss Alps. To enjoy croissants is to feel the elegance of Paris, shaped by centuries of culinary exchange. That is the magic of European cuisine. It is a living archive, a museum of taste that continues to evolve while honoring its roots. Each bite is not only delicious, but historical, carrying within it the stories of kings and peasants, of wars and peace, of trade and travel, of survival and celebration. And maybe that's why Europe's food will always remain unforgettable, because in every dish lies a story of human history itself.